Ja, schönen guten Tag. Willkommen in einer neuen Location zum Musikunterricht mit Jens Lissat. Heute aus Köln-Ehrenfeld im DeinTVstudio. Eine neue Location, eine neue Crew. Und ja, wir haben jetzt 3 Monate Pause gehabt und heute haben wir eine exklusive Premiere für euch. Heute wird die erste Show sein mit meinem Gast, der gleich zu mir kommen wird, die auf Englisch stattfinden wird. Also, ich hoffe, ihr sprecht alle gutes Englisch und versuchen das möglichst simpel zu halten. Und ich begrüße meinen alten Freund, DJ-Kollegen, mit dem ich sehr viel erlebt habe, aus England. Come over, Steve. Steve Mason.
Hello.
Hi, Steve. Hey, nice. Welcome to the show. Nice to see you. Yeah, nice to see you. So, well, we are a long time in the business. You're a long time in the business, and yeah, we're gonna talk tonight about tonight, whatever. About music business, about back in the days, stories, about your career, and you had a nice travel to Cologne?
Very good.
Yeah?
I was playing last night, so a bit tired. But,
Oh, okay, so,
good,
yeah,
yeah.
okay. And then the adrenaline from the show will gonna keep you awake, I think. So, okay, now we're gonna start with the show, and the first record which you picked.
Model 500s. Fantastic little beginning. Always gets the place going. It's got a beautiful little bass drum roll into it. Shall we go for it?
I'm gonna start the recording. 1 second, and let's.
And we press 1,
Plus,
2,
2,
3, and play.
Yeah.
This is the sound of the beginning of the club. Comes in nice and low, comes in nice and cool, and then builds, and everyone just goes.
Yeah, that's cool. So, what year was this track?
Oh God. 1995.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So, well, now we're gonna talk about, before you play the second record, tell us something about when you grew up with music. What was when you came to music?
I was into reggae and stuff like that when I was younger, and a bit of punk. I was into punk a bit, and then I got into, I was really onto the radio side of things, yeah? So I used to be, when I was a little kid, I was on hospital radio.
Okay, hospital radio.
Hospital radio for the patients who were ill in
Yeah.
hospital. So then we just played any old crap, really. It was just what old people wanted to hear.
Yeah, cool.
So, but then...
What was your first record?
My first record I bought? Oh my
A 12-inch, a 7-inch an album, or what was it? I remember my one.
Do you?
I tell you what my one is.
Go on, then.
My one was from the Carpenters, Please Mr. Postman.
well, yeah.
A 7-inch single.
Very
It was my
nice,
first record.
God. I can't remember. There's so many now, so many, I don't know.
Well, as a DJ, you have to remember what your first record was.
You're supposed to, aren't you, if you're a normal DJ? But I'm not normal.
Okay,
I'll be normal.
Okay.
No, I went on from that sort of punky thing, then went to university, and at university I got into this kind of alternative disco thing.
Okay.
So we started playing The Cure, and those sort of alternative things, like back in early 80s this is.
Yeah.
And then I went abroad and I was working all around the world I got a job on a pirate radio ship.
Pirate radio, yeah.
Yeah,
That was popular. Tell us about something about these pirate things, because maybe German people, they don't know about the pirate thing.
Well, this was a bit different, because this was a job on the thing called the Voice of Peace. So the Voice of Peace was a ship anchored off Israel, broadcasting message of love and peace to the Middle East. That was the whole point of it. It was set up by John Lennon and various few people years ago, and it was a little Dutch inland vessel that was 6 miles off Tel Aviv.
All right.
And we had an AM and an FM transmitter 24 hours a day playing music of love and peace. Every time in the evening when the sun went down, we had a minute's silence to remember the victims of violence and war.
Yeah, okay.
So it was cool. I did that for about 9 months, and then I got a job in a little disco in Tel Aviv in Israel. It was my first ever DJing in a club.
Which year was that? 1985, okay.
5 or 4, something like that. And I was terrible. Absolutely shocking. It was a terrible, big commercial club.
Yeah.
And this guy, there's all the records, off you go. I didn't know how to mix. I just put a record, I was terrible.
Yeah,
And
okay.
they didn't pay me. It was awful.
Were you able to mixing it at the time already?
Yeah.
No, you
No,
just made overlays. So
First time. I just put a record on for the next one and boom, boom, boom. It was awful.
Yeah, nice stories. Yeah, I hope everybody understands this. Yeah, we try to keep it in simple English, but you know, once you're in the flow like Steve, you know, yeah. So it was terrible the first. Yeah, and then later.
So then I came. I finished The Voice of Peace, this pirate radio ship, and then I came back to England, and I got a job on BFBS. So we all know BFBS.
Yeah, we're gonna come to this later. Now maybe you select mix.
That was a little bit that came.
Yeah, come on.
You got a love song.
Yeah.
So this is a tune from one of the guys on your label.
Yeah, we're gonna come and we're gonna talk about this once the mix is finished.
It's really hard to Here we go.
Here, go.
Is that right? Not bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sharp in a mix with all kind of tricks my DJs back like a sunny day.
Yeah, MC. You know,
I used to have Mr. Freddie D, the man they call Mystic, mate.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about him as well.
Yeah.
Well, you know, this. I remember the times when, you said you were coming to. You started at BFBS. Just to make a quick step to it, I remember when I sent you from my label No Respect Records, or I gave you on parties the white labels from new stuff. You see here No Respect Records, Exit EEE, you know, Jürgen Driesen. Yeah. And I remember, you know, I was always jumping, you know, on Saturday when the show was starting, and we're coming later to it. I was jumping, you place our stuff on the radio. So, now it's my time. Yeah.
Have to play this one a bit fast.
Pitch it for me, or just we chop it? I didn't know.
Well, you're going to let it play a bit. You've got to let him have this break.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah. Okay.
Sharp in a mix with all kind of tricks. You can let it play a bit longer if you want.
Of course,
it's got this lovely break in the middle. So this guy, Jürgen Driesen from your label, so he sent me every time, he used to send me records. I used to get loads and loads of records. I actually had my letterbox enlarged so that they could fit through, because otherwise I'd be asleep in the morning and then I'd have to get up all the time to let them in. So I got this massive great letterbox.
This is Mr. Experience for me. You know, tell us about something about your start with BFBS. You were in the army, right?
No, I was never in the army.
You were not in the army now.
No, I wasn't.
All right, okay.
No, so I came back from the Voice of Peace, this pirate ship, and then they wanted people at BFBS who were prepared to travel all around the world to strange, weird places and not sort of get bored and homesick. Yeah. So that was a really good experience for me, having been on on the Voice of Peace. Yeah. So then I got the job, and it started in London, and they had 6 studios in London with all the main DJs from the UK, and they would record the shows and send them to all the different places around the world, of course, including Germany. So I worked there for a while, and then I went to Cyprus. And I spent 3 years in Cyprus.
Oh, okay, beautiful island.
Beautiful, and just basically I was there doing a few little shows. This is before techno, so we're talking about 1986 or something like that. Yeah. And I was playing rock, bits of rock, blues, reggae, eclectic, all over the place.
Pop music,
Not pop.
World music,
Album tracks, nothing poppy. Yeah. And then I started, that was the beginning of it was called the Sunday Night Experience.
Sunday Night Experience,
and it was all because of Mikey Dread. There's a Mikey Dread, a reggae artist. Yeah. And he's got one particular track on there, and he goes, da-da-da-da-da, welcome to the Saturday Night Experience show. And that was one of his things, so I lifted that. Yeah. And that was one of my little jingles to start with. But it was on Sunday, so I had to change that.
Yeah, okay.
But anyway, that was the reason that the name came like that. Now I thought, well, I'll just shove Steve Mason at the front, why not? Bit of self-promotion. Yeah. So that was quite
It was big, you know, it became big. Tell us something more about how, and then Cyprus?
So I did Cyprus 3 years there, and in that time I also went to Belize in Central America, and I put a little radio station there, and then I went to Hong Kong.
Hong Kong.
Hong Kong. I lived in Hong Kong for a year doing radio shows
Okay.
there.
1 second. The Hong Kong thing. Wait. Ja, wir haben also einen we have a little delay here from the speakers to the headphone. On the headphone it's safe. So yeah, anyway.
Making excuses.
Yeah. I try, you know.
It doesn't
We have a
matter.
little bonanza beat mixing like.
So this is your man Jürgen Driesen. He used to send me records. Look.
Yeah. Let's
Here
have
goes,
a,
look.
can we have a
Look
close
at
look?
this. This is the A side. Straight from heaven. Steve Mason copy. Label side. Not my favourite. B said, put it on the A side. B side, please play this on the radio. I don't want to play the scratch it starts. I didn't read that last night.
Funny. Ja, Jürgen, hast du gesehen, deine Nummer hier, lustig, not my side, okay. Ja. Okay.
This is one from my label, Experience Grooves, and latest becoming Experience 3000. So this is one of my Conception Vessel, which is the sort of title track from my album, and this was called, it was called Conception Vessel, and this was a remix. This is a remix from Outside, very, very minimal. And I remember I heard it, the guy gave it to me, I heard it in the studio, and I was like, yes, it's good. Yeah. And then I played it in a club, and I thought, wow, it's really good.
Yeah, cool.
So we'll try and get that in there.
Ja, neue Location, ziemlich cool hier. Köln-Ehrenfeld, DeinTVstudio. And on the mix, Steve Mason.
Lovely bit this.
Yeah. Express 2.
Express 2.
They did a lot of good stuff.
Housey, really.
Yeah.
Cranked right up, fits in.
Yeah.
You can't play too many like that because they want it harder. But
Yeah.
you can slip them in, can't you?
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Nice with the strings. That's
Good.
so techy.
Good chord stuff, yeah.
Love it. And we have to wait for the beginning of the beat, don't we? 1, 2.
Good. 1, yeah. Yeah, live mixing action.
It's good, man.
Yeah.
We're not really playing all the records, are we? Just playing the beginning.
Ja,
And now we're playing two together.
Unser Kollege Jeff Mills, 30 seconds playing.
Now we do the bass. Two records together, I love doing that. I remember a guy from Germany came to see me, he was a bloke living in England, a German guy living. He came to see me years ago and he said, but you play all the records together, why don't you just play one after the other? That's the whole point! We'll just slowly fade that one down. So this is the Outsider remix from my Conception Vessel track. Really minimal. And it's just like, you know what it's like, but it's just this beat going round and round and round. Sorry.
The microphone.
It's just the beat goes round and round and round. And then in comes the hi-hats and everyone goes, yeah! All it is.
Yeah.